This is the trophy that the University of Texas's women's tennis program won in 2021. And this is the trophy that they held above their heads in 2022. But now, they're looking to fill this empty space with another title trophy this year.
The HEB Center sees its fair share of championships and unforgettable moments for basketball, hockey, and even the X League. But now, it makes history. 9 former Longhorn stars reunite in Austin to prove that volleyball isn't just growing, it's thriving. Hundreds of people are lined up outside of the state capitol building. They're holding signs, they're chanting, they're making their presence known as they are protesting against Project 2025, more specifically on President Trump's crackdown on immigration. This has blown up all across social media, and protests are occurring all throughout the country in all 50 states at all 50 state capitals. Texas softball enters the 2025 season ranked number 1 in the preseason poll for the first time in 20 years. And while the first game of the season is exciting, for one Longhorn senior, it's bittersweet. Strikes and spares are making a huge difference in the community. The Town & Country Sports annual bowling tournament is more than just a fundraiser. It's an opportunity for every child to play the sports they love. Texans are not taking any chances when it comes to the winter weather watch this time around. They said they're prepared for any snow, ice, or power outages that the storm may bring. I spoke with several people outside of a local HEB, and they all have one thing in common: stocking up on the basic necessities. The Texas Longhorns Beach program plays right here in the Wright Whitaker Sports Complex sand courts, only 2 miles away from the University of Texas's campus. Welcome, I'm Tori Garcia, and I am back with your weekly sports update. It was a historic week for Texas football, so why not start there? Texas A&M fans waited 13 years to avenge the Texas Longhorns on the gridiron. But unfortunately for the Aggies, its playoff hopes came to a close on Saturday night at Kyle Field. Texas bumped up to number 2 in the AP polls after its 17-7 victory over the Aggies. That clinched them a spot in the SEC title game against Georgia this upcoming Saturday. High risk means high reward, right? On a 4th and 2 snap from the Texas A&M 15-yard line to the end zone, head coach Steve Sarkisian brought in none other than backup quarterback Arch Manning to get the job done. And he delivered. Manning put up the first points on the board with a rushing touchdown in the first quarter. The Longhorns entered halftime winning 17-0 and never let go of their lead for the remainder of the game. UT football is not the only Texas team hoping to secure a title this season. Texas volleyball was selected as a host for the first and second rounds at Gregory Gym in the 2024 NCAA Volleyball Championship. Number 14 Texas Volleyball put together a 5-set rally to take down Ole Miss on Saturday. The Longhorns trailed 13-7 in the 5th and final set before competing in the epic rally comeback to secure their 18th win of the season. Head coach Jarrett Elliott credits his players' grit and grind for their success all year long.
Over a period of time, and I think our numbers are getting better. The things that we've been working on, our team has been putting in the work, and we're really getting some good balance on the court.
The Longhorns will do their best to extend their playing time as the Horns will take on Texas A&M Corpus Christi tonight at 6:30 to begin the first round of the NCAA tournament. However, the win on Saturday was bittersweet as it marked senior day for the Longhorn athletes. Kayla Akana, Soa Franklin, Reagan Rutherford, Madison Skinner, and Jenna Wennis played in their final regular season home game this past weekend and were recognized with leis and bouquets. But while one season is coming to a close, another is just getting started. Texas men's basketball ran past Delaware State on Saturday night at the Moody Center with a 90-68 win. Freshman Trey Johnson recorded a team-high 21 points to help lead the Horns to their 6th consecutive victory. Texas has posted at least 89 points in each of their first 4 home contests this season and nearly took down NC State 63-59 last night. All right, let's talk about SEC game day predictions. Experts are saying that the Longhorns will beat Georgia, but only by a field goal. But either way, it doesn't matter. Both teams are projected to be in the college football playoffs. But whoever wins will get a first round bye.
How about them Longhorns?
Go. Welcome to this week's sports update. I'm Tori Garcia. We'll start with women's soccer. In a back-and-forth matchup, the number 5 Arkansas Razorbacks nearly pulled off a win against number 24 Texas Longhorns on Friday. The Horns came out hot, finding the back of the net first, not even 6.5 minutes into the game. But the Razorbacks ultimately finished the job and defeated the Longhorns 4-3. A little over a week ago, senior midfielder Lexi Missimo set a new record for career goals with 53. She tallied one more against Arkansas, which inched her even closer to the 60-goal, 60-assist club.
60 assists. I mean, that speaks for itself, right? She's even a little nicked up. You know, nobody knows about that, but and she's grinding, right? And the goal was world class, and the assist to get 60 assists on your careers is exceptional.
With at least 1 point in 6 consecutive matches, Missimo is now tied for the 7th longest streak in program history. The Razorbacks are not the only top 5 team the Longhorns faced this weekend, and what could have possibly prepared fans more for the primetime Texas versus Georgia Bulldogs game than bringing College game day to the 40 acres. Some football fans made their way to the tower before the sun came up on Saturday morning to watch Nick Saban and other ESPN personalities live. The broadcast ran from 8 to 11 a.m., and around wrap-up time for the show, each announcer made their College game day predictions. Every announcer projected the Longhorns to win, and every single one of them were wrong. Texas football dropped from number 1 in the AP polls to number 5 after losing to the Bulldogs. The game got out of hand early on Saturday night at DKR Stadium for the Longhorns. Not only did backup quarterback Arch Manning replace Quinn Ewers at the end of the second quarter, but Texas entered the locker room at halftime trailing 23-0. Ewers ultimately returned for the entirety of the second half and finished 25 of 43 passing for 211 yards with 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. Despite the minor comeback and bottle-throwing fiasco from the student section, the Horns lost their first game of the season, 30-15. But while one Texas team lost the Dogs, another put them in a cage. Texas volleyball defeated Georgia 3-1 on Sunday. Redshirt sophomore and middle blocker Mariana Singletary was key to the Longhorns' success and had a career-high game with 11 blocks. Singletary credits her teammates for her continued improvement this season.
I think that just goes to show how hard our team works. It's always about next play, next moment to score, play long game, a long rally. Just taking it 1 point at a time and trusting each other and building confidence in that.
The Longhorns lost their first SEC game of the season on Wednesday to rival Texas A&M and will now have a long break until their next matchup on November 1st.
UT's softball season is in full swing. After falling short of a title last season to Oklahoma, the Longhorns are hungry for redemption. But for senior catcher Katie Simmons, this year means more than taking home a trophy. She's ready, not only for her 4th and final season at Texas, but
I was one of those girls 10 years ago
to set a standard for her young teammates.
looking at all the college players thinking one day I could be there, and just to be somebody who is a good role model for these girls, you know, on and off the field, I think that's the best part.
Katie's love for the game started early, at 9 years old, when she hit her first triple in Little League.
That was kind of my click of knowing that, like, I wanted to play softball, like, having that feeling of just accomplishing something really cool.
Now, she's a veteran leader for UT's redemption season. And head coach Mike White says he'll miss her attentive and focused mindset most when she graduates.
She's very intelligent. She sees a lot of things. She doesn't really have a dog in the fight, so to speak. She's really listening to everybody. She's a really good listener. And then thinks about everything before she comments.
And he hopes her commitment and this team's will pay off. The preseason poll placed the team in an early conversation for a national championship. And the Longhorns don't want to settle for anything less. So while Katie says she's ready for the next chapter of her life to begin, saying goodbye to this one is bittersweet.
Softball has been such a big part of my life since I was little, And I'm just kind of going into the season thinking, you know, every small moment is something big for myself and for my teammates, so just not taking anything for granted.
The Horns will travel to Louisiana to take on Longwood for the first game of the season on Friday, February 7th. In Austin, Tori Garcia, Spectrum News.
This is a historic moment for professional volleyball in Austin. The first home game for Love Austin, a brand new team in Love Pro League, a 6-team professional volleyball organization. And for Chiaka Obagu, it's a homecoming. Texas Longhorn and Olympian, she's back to lead Austin's newest pro team.
My experience at Texas was one of the most special experiences I've ever had in my career, and I hold that so near and dear to my heart. And to know that the same community that has supported all of us throughout our college career is now supporting us in our pro career means the entire world.
Her teammates say it isn't just about volleyball, but elevating women's sports, inspiring a new generation of female athletes here. Another former Longhorn, Asia O'Neal, says she's excited to show young girls that playing pro volleyball in the U.S. is a real possibility.
When I was their age, I didn't even know playing pro volleyball in America would be a possibility or an option, so it's really special to, you know, blaze this trail for those girls and encourage them that this could be them one day for sure.
And Obagu says Austin's energy and support makes this moment even more powerful. She says this city was clearly hungry for another professional team.
All of us, when we're out and about in the city at a grocery store, there's so many people who are engaged and excited for this to come. So hopefully we can continue to give them a good show.
Austin fell 3-1 sets to Atlanta in front of their home crowd, but will take on Omaha at Liberty First Credit Union Arena on January 25th. In Austin, Tori Garcia, Spectrum News.
At this alley, the sound of pins falling isn't just about competition. It supports a greater mission. The Help Every Kid Play bowling tournament brought the community together to help efforts to make sports accessible for all kids at all incomes. But for Susie Peterson, this event is personal.
Both my adult kids played TNC soccer. And I've been involved as on the board for over 20 years.
Peterson says for too many families, youth sports seem out of reach. A Centers for Disease Control and Prevention study shows a stark divide. 70% of affluent kids play sports, but 70% of low-income kids miss out. Town and Country, the largest youth sports organization in Texas, is on a mission to change that.
One of our primary missions is to reach out to our community and people that don't have even transportation to get to the fields.
About 10 years ago, they launched the Help Every Kid Play project that sets aside scholarships for low-income families. Rob Nestor expanded the project 2 years ago and added the annual bowling fundraiser.
We just think youth sports is so helpful for kids to learn teamwork, to learn self-confidence, all the things that you get from competing, but doing it in a recreational and a friendly competition way. We're real believers in that.
Last year, this event raised over $11,000 and helped about 100 children afford sports programs. But this year, Nestor says something special stood out. More kids bowled, and an all-women team, including Peterson herself, competed in the tournament.
I just come from a background of service, so it's really about taking care of the youngest people in our community.
The annual TNC Sports fundraiser event takes place right here at the Highland Lanes Bowling Alley. This year, the program expects to raise over $12,000 to help make youth sports more accessible. In Austin, Tori Garcia, Spectrum News.
As the first Texas winter storm of the new year blows in, people are out shopping to prepare for a freeze, just in case.
I got some soup at home, so I got some stuff to make baked potatoes and mac and cheese, just like warm filler meals to get through the cold nights.
Shoppers say they've noticed the necessities flying off the shelves.
The canned foods were basically all out. I also noticed that a lot of the bottled water was out as well, so I definitely had to stock up on those.
Texas is expected to see freezing temperatures and a mix of snow and ice over the next few days. ERCOT issued a weather watch through Friday due to high electricity demands throughout the state. Some here say the cold is a nice change from the scorching sun.
I love my jacket. This was a Christmas gift a couple years ago, and so I finally get to wear it because it's cold enough.
But for others, it's a reminder of the damage a freeze can do when not prepared.
We had to use like the portable stoves to cook food and everything, so it was a chaotic time for sure.
In 2023, a historic ice storm overtook Austin, and more than 200,000 residents reported power outages from frozen trees that fell on power lines, including Helen Wen and her family.
Being stuck without any electricity or any food, very concerning, especially since there's a lot of elderly in our family.
But this time around, grocery shoppers like Wen take initiative and make sure their pantries are stocked.
We are definitely more prepared this year than the last time that came around. We definitely stocked up on food and made sure that we had gas and propane and that sort of stuff.
The city urges people to keep in mind the 4 Ps when preparing for a winter storm: people, pets, plants, and pipes. In Austin, Tori Garcia, Spectrum News.
The University of Texas's women's tennis team is entering the NCAA tournament ranked number 8 in the nation. But for senior players like Charlotte Shavadapon, the final games in a burnt orange jersey are more than just about taking home a trophy.
It's honestly more fun, the everyday thing. And what's really meaningful, not just the winning, it's the celebrating with them. Win, lose, we have a great team. And not just a great team full of tennis players, a great team full of just people in general.
The program won NCAA championships in both 2021 and 2022. Shavadapon and senior Malaika Rapaloe were both on the previous title teams, so taking home another trophy together this year would be extra meaningful.
We have a great team chemistry. We all love each other. We all want each other to win. We all want the team to do well. And I think it's going to be special, whatever we achieve with this team.
This is the trophy that the University of Texas's women's tennis program won in 2021. And this is the trophy that they held above their heads in 2022. But now, they're looking to fill this empty space with another title trophy this year.
Head coach Howard Jaffe says the Longhorns are prepared to take home another title.
We definitely have a chance, and it would be a cherry on the top of just the most amazing careers here at Texas.
The tournament starts May 4th, and each win means one more match as teammates.
I would give anything to have another year at Texas.
In Austin, Tori Garcia, reporting Texas TV.
After playing a limited schedule last spring, Texas beach volleyball became a fully sanctioned varsity sport for the first time this season. But that isn't the only way this program has made history this year. The Texas beach volleyball program got off to an exciting start, hosting its first ever home matchups against Houston Christian University and the Washington Huskies. Texas Beach redshirt sophomore Katie Hashman is a transfer from UCLA, but she grew up a Longhorns fan.
It means a lot. Growing up, I was a Texas fan. My mom went to Texas, and I grew up going to every sporting event imaginable. So getting to play here and have that fan base around, it's been an amazing experience.
In 2022, UT announced beach volleyball as its 21st varsity sport. Stein Metzger became head coach in 2023 and signed 10 players from other universities.
Well, there's just a lot of great heart and effort out on the court. There's battles happening all over, so it's not just one game. It's like drama times 6 because there's 6 matches to follow. So in that sense, there's just a lot of action and a lot of fun stuff to take part in.
The Texas Longhorns beach program plays right here in the Wright Whitaker Sports Complex sand courts, only 2 miles away from the University of Texas's campus.
This is so exciting to be able to watch it for the first time and be able to be here, 1 for a free game and then 2 to cheer the team on. And so yeah, I'm just really excited to see how this program builds up and to be able to say that I was here for the first game.
The Longhorns will travel to Corpus Christi this weekend to play in the 4-game Islander Classic Series. Hashman says she's glad they finally played at home.
This was our first home game, and this was the rowdiest crowd that I've ever been able to play in front of, so it was super cool.
The Longhorns won 3-2 against Houston Christian, but fell 1-4 sets to the Huskies. The Horns now have an overall record of 2 wins and 4 losses this season. Live in the studio, I'm Tori Garcia, reporting Texas TV.